Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Time with Chris, the channel devoted specifically to movies, movie trailer discussions, movie reviews, movie birthdays, box office results, with some special videos along the way. Now, hey, if that sounds like something that you're into, if you love the trailer discussions, if you want the movie reviews before you check it out at the theater, or hey, if you just love movies, subscribe to this channel. You're going to get all of that great content that you love and then some. So, wouldn't be a video without Nebs trying to get her fame. Um, so I know I'm a little late. It is Sunday. Again, I'm late. I spent the last 2 days kind of focusing and crossing my fingers and praying that I would win either the Mega Millions or the Powerball. Uh, Mega Millions was drawing on Friday, Powerball drawing last night, and I guess the fact that I'm here doing this video means I didn't win either. But hey, moving on. Um, we're gonna start like normal our box office recap from last weekend, which was October 12th through the 14th. Excuse me. Um, I had predicted A Star Is Born would be number one. First Man would be number two. Bad Times at the El Royale would be number three. Goosebumps 2 would be number four. And Venom would be number five. I was wrong. I was wrong. Um, the box office, the actual box office for October 12th to October 14th, Venom came in not at number five, at number one with $35 million. Number two was A Star Is Born, coming in at 28.4 million. First Man was number three, 16 million. Excuse me. Goosebumps 2 was number four with 15.8 million. And Smallfoot, this movie just wouldn't die. Rounding out the top five with $9 million. Now, yeah, I got a few things. I got number four, Goosebumps, Stars Born, and then First Man. They weren't in the right spot, but they were together. Um, the one I did have at number three, Bad Times at the El Royale, came in at seventh with 7.1 million. I thought just with the cast alone that this movie would have brought in an audience, but I guess it didn't bring in as big an audience as I thought. But then again, Hotel Artemis had a great cast also. It was an amazing movie, but just didn't get the recognition that it deserved. And, you know, didn't quite make those top fives. But hey, that was that. I got a few wrong. Moving on to the box office prediction for this weekend, which is just about over. Um, October 19th to October 21st. Now, I did post my predictions on Instagram and Twitter, so you could see them on there. I posted it on Friday, so you know what my guesses were. In case you didn't check it out there, my predictions for this weekend, I had Halloween at number one. Because clearly, it just came out. Big hype about this movie. Number one. I had A Star Is Born at number two. Um, I still think just because of the the reviews, the cast, everything about this movie, um, I think it's going to be in this top five for a while. And I put it at number two just because I think it's going to do better than everything else. Now, I had Venom at three, only because I saw what Venom did last weekend, and it blew me away the weekend before that when it opened with 80 million. So I think people don't care about the critics and what the critics are saying. I have to remember not everyone pays attention to the critics or pays attention to these reviews the same way that I do. People just want to see Venom, so that's why I put it at number 3. I learned my lesson from last week. I have Goosebumps 2 still at number 4. I think just because it's getting closer to Halloween and families want to take their kids to see something. And Halloween, I'm sure, is going to be gory. Not as gory, but more than anything else on the list. They're not going to want to take their kids to see that. A Star is Born probably doesn't interest the kids. Venom might interest the kids, but the parents may not want the kids to see that. So that leaves Goosebumps 2, which is why I have it at number 4 for this weekend. And rounding out my top 5, I have First Man. Only because last week I had it predicted at number 2. I saw what it did at the box office. I mean, it came in with just 16 million. That means there wasn't a lot of hype or anticipation for this movie. I still think it's going to be in the top 5. I just didn't think it's going to be high. Excuse me. Now, because I did post my predictions on, I almost said YouTube, on Instagram and Twitter, I went ahead and I checked what the early predictions, oh my God, what is wrong with me? The early projections are for this weekend at the box office. And so far, it looks like I hit the nail on the head. Each one in its spot. Halloween, Star is Born, Venom, Goosebumps 2, and First Man. So that's the first time I've ever gotten them all right in the correct spot. But we'll see if anything changes. I'll have the final numbers tomorrow. So hopefully they stay where they are. I would like to say, hey, I got them all right. But moving on. As I've stated previously, the reason why I started this channel was just because I wanted to go over movies that had come out this week in history, just because it's like, oh my God, that came out then. I mean, I only go back 20 years, but even then, looking at a movie that came out 20 years ago, I was 16. So it's like, wow, I was, still in high school and a kid, and so I just like to look at it like that, like, oh my God, I was so young when that came out, but I remember that movie. So I like to go over it. I'm going to keep going over it. So the birthdays that are the birthdays. I don't know what's wrong with me today, guys. I guess, I don't know. My hype for the Powerball and Mega Millions, and I crashed, and I guess it's just affecting me. Um, But yeah, the movies that are celebrating their birthdays or did celebrate their birthdays for this previous week. Let's get into that. Celebrating their 5th birthday this past week, we had Carrie, the remake with Chloe Grace Moretz, 12 Years a Slave, and All Is Lost. Now, All Is Lost looked interesting to me. I never actually got a chance to see it. The same with 12 Years a Slave. Now, 12 Years a Slave definitely intrigued me, but not enough for me to go see it at the theater. And I just haven't seen it since because I don't see it on any streaming services. If it's been on there, then I obviously missed it, and I regret that. But I did see Carrie. I think it did its job as a remake. Oh, my hair is kind of out of control. Oof. I think it did its job as a remake to bring like a younger audience into this classic that, you know, an older generation, my generation, kind of grew up watching the original. So, sometimes originals just need to be dusted off a little bit. The youth of today can be pretty harsh with movies, saying, oh, that looks ridiculous, this looks stupid, why does it look so fake? It did a good job at bringing the younger generation into it. But, I mean, on this list, I wish I had seen 12 Years a Slave over anything else. But, moving on. Celebrating the 10th birthday this week, we have. Okay. We had Frost Nixon, Max Payne, Sex Drive, W, and What Just Happened. Now, What Just Happened, Robert De Niro is amazing. Really gets into the role that he's playing with any movie that he does. But I didn't get a chance to see this one. I know. Again, channel about movies, haven't seen some of these movies. But I'm sure a lot of you have, so that's why I bring it up. And it was celebrating a birthday, so we got to honor it. But I have seen the others on this list. Max Payne. It's a movie based on a video game. They haven't really gotten any of those right ever. So, yeah. I mean, it had a good cast. Mila Kunis, Mark Wahlberg, but it didn't leave a lasting impression to make me say, oh, that was good, I need to see it again, or anything. It was an alright movie. Sex Drive. I know I saw the movie. Actually, I had borrowed it from one of my previous coworkers, another manager at the movie theater when I worked at the movie theater, let me borrow this movie, and I watched it, and I thought the funniest part was when they were tasing the guy in the donut costume, and he's talking about the Mexican won't go down or something. That was probably it. The rest of the movie, I honestly can't even remember. So yeah, that pretty much covers Sex Drive. Now, Frost Nixon and W. Both of these have to do with presidents. Frost Nixon. This movie, I mean, it brought up this whole thing with this interview, this like 3-part interview that was done, and I didn't know the story behind it. This was before my time. So this really intrigued me, and it made me look into it further and just kind of do my research and my homework on it. And the movie did a great job. It was just an amazing movie. I think I've probably only seen it maybe like twice, and I wish I could see it more. But yeah, this one is definitely worth checking out. NW. Josh Brolin did W so well. And let me tell you, I am, not to really bring politics into anything, but I'm a Democrat. I'm a hardcore Democrat. I'm like, as Robert Wool said, I am to the left of Lenin. Okay? Not that extreme. But I'm a hardcore Democrat. Seeing this movie and the portrayal of W and just the way he wasn't stupid. He was just simple. He was a kind of common folk. And I watched this movie, and it made me kind of respect W a little bit. And really say, you know what? He's not an idiot. People shouldn't say such terrible things about him. I mean, I know he makes fun of himself, and that's good that he can do that, but he should really give himself a lot more credit, just based on the portrayal in this movie, with the exception of the pretzel scene. That's it. Moving on. Celebrating their 15th birthday this week, the teenagers. I've got nothing. I went through the list on the internet of movies, and there were some movies that came out 15 years ago. Nothing that I've recognized in title, in cast, in anything. So, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, that was 2003. I don't know, maybe something happened and they decided to not come out with any movies that week. I don't know. Or if they did, they were just that bad that no one remembered them. Moving on. The adults celebrating their 20th birthday this week. We have, excuse me, Bride of Chucky and Practical Magic. I never saw Practical Magic. There's very few magic movies that I watch, or things that have to do with witches. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I can't even remember the name of the movie. With the Sanderson sisters. It's a good movie. If it's on, I might watch it, but it's not something I go out of my way to look for. The Craft, Practical Magic, Warlock, any of these movies, if they're on, yeah, I might watch part of it or whatever, but it's not something I go out of my way to watch. I never saw Practical Magic. I won't go out of my way to see it. If it's on and there's absolutely nothing else on, I'll probably check some of it out, but with the exception of Harry Potter, I'm sorry, going back, Harry Potter movies, I watch those. But I don't consider those magic movies. I consider those kind of coming of age, good versus evil movies. And Bride of Chucky. Can't remember if it was last week or the week before where we had celebrated the birthday for the Seed of Chucky. And I expressed that I liked the first one. It was good. It was decent. I don't think it needs a remake, which they're doing, because we know Hollywood has no ideas, no originality. It's a bunch of people that are my age that are now running things there, coming up with the ideas, and they're like, hey, I liked this movie when I was young. Let's redo it. So that's why we're just getting all these copies. But I liked the first one. I liked the third one. I saw the second one. I didn't watch anything after that. None of those other Chuckies. Seed of Chucky, Bride of Chucky, Young Chucky, Baby Chucky, any of the Chuckies. I didn't see any of them after that. No interest in seeing it. I think it's just ridiculous at this point. So, yeah. I did see Chucky in Ready Player One, though. So, he had a cameo in there. That was kind of enjoyable. But other than that, I'm good with Chucky. And when they decide to make this remake of it, I'm good. I've seen it. Saw the original. Those are the birthdays. So we are going to be moving on. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter just because last week I wanted to keep it short. It still ended up being, I think, like 32 minutes long. So we're going to see if we could cut it down. Excuse me. We've got 3 trailers to discuss. Again, we're not doing trailer reactions. I know that on my channel, most people still watch some of the old reactions. Not a lot of people have been watching these new videos, but this is the format I choose. This is the format I'm going to stick with. I don't do reactions anymore just because of the whole, copyright content and parts of the videos being blocked or the entire video being blocked. I'd rather just not deal with that hassle from the studios, and I'd rather just watch the trailer on my own and then discuss it. So we are going to be discussing a few trailers. Now, let me get into the trailers and I'll get into my thoughts. So, we have the Destroyer trailer with Nicole Kidman. Now, from what I got from this movie, from this trailer, it's a movie where she was involved with, this group of criminals, and during a bank robbery, her significant other, I'm guessing, either gets caught or gets killed, something like that. The die pack goes off, they get none money. Or maybe the die pack went off and, they get away, and the guy that's running things behind the scenes, kind of like from The Town or Baby Driver. There's always someone behind the scenes who's running these heists. Maybe they got upset because the guy took the die pack and they kill him. I don't know. Something along those lines. So, in the trailer, they show Nicole Kidman walks up. There's like a body, and it has a bill. I'm guessing from the bank robbery because it has the ink on it. When a die pack explodes, it's an ink that goes all over the money. You can't get it off. So, what I got is that something happened here. Maybe that happened right after the heist. Maybe they killed the guy and left his body there with the bill. She saw it. She got upset. So now she is going to... Hold on one second. Sorry about that. So she now goes to get revenge on this group. And you see them, they're pulling off another bank robbery, and she comes out with some people and guns to shoot them. And not original. Story we've seen before. There was one that was just recently with Jennifer Gardner that was kind of the same thing. And it's just, we've seen these before where people are involved in the crime, something goes wrong against them, and they get their revenge. We've seen it in The Town. We saw it in Baby Driver. We've seen it in, oh my God, so many movies where this happens, and there's no originality to it. The makeup looks great. Nicole Kidman, you can't even recognize her, but otherwise, this did nothing for me. I have no interest in seeing Destroyer. That's that. Moving on. We have... We'll save that one. Sorry. Escape Room. We're going to talk about Escape Room trailer that came out. This one. Watch the trailer. They've got, these 5 individuals, I think it is. They each received this puzzle box. And inside the box is like an invitation to be part of like those escape room games that, everyone's into now. And, if you successfully escape, you get $1 million. Again, no originality. We've seen it. This is the child of 2 movies that have come together. In the trailer, they got the people, they're in the room, they've got to find these clues and keys to get out of one room and out of the next room and out of the next room and ultimately escape it and win. Kind of sounds like Saw. I can't remember which Saw it was. I've seen Saw. Sorry. And it was, the first one, the second one, it wasn't one of those. There was another one that had like a group of people in a room and they're trying to get out, and there's all these different, things that are going to kill them, but they have to find like the key that's, in this person's stomach and this person behind their eye, and the key is underneath the foot of this person, whatever it is. It's kind of the same thing. Here you've got a group of people in a room. They have to find clues or keys to get out before it kills them. Saw. It has these five people that were chosen by this corporation, and they're invited to this place to partake in this event, and if they survive, they get $1 million. Sounds a lot like House on Haunted Hill. You had the people, they get the invitation, they show up at the house. If they make it through the night, they get $1 million. No originality in Hollywood. So, Escape Room, I might see it once, just to see the little puzzles that are given, but as far as story, it doesn't excite me. Trailer didn't excite me. There was nothing about this that excited me. So, yeah. The last one. God, we're still coming up to 30 minutes. Man, I just can't keep these short. The last one. The Curse of La Llorona. Tried to get that right. It's another like spin-off, I guess, that's it's produced by James Wan. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of the whole Conjuring universe thing, where now it has its own spin-offs, like Fast and the Furious now has Hobbs and Shaw, their spin-off movie based on this. Is this going to be where it doesn't I'm sorry, Hobbs and Shaw, where it doesn't focus on the main characters of Vin Diesel or Paul Walker. It's got these separate ones. I wonder if this is going to be something like that, where it doesn't have any of the main characters in it, but it's still part of that universe. The trailer was okay. I didn't find it very spooky. I'll probably see this in the theater, not gonna lie, just to see, is it like a psychological horror, the kind of thing that messes with your mind, which is what it looks like, which I like about those Conjuring movies. There isn't gore or blood, but they're still scary. But I know that this is based on, like, I believe it's like a Mexican folklore type of thing. They even say it in the trailer. She's like, oh, it's like a folk story, and the priest says to some, I don't know the story of La Llorona, but I'm obviously going to do my research before the movie comes out, so I know kind of what's going on if they don't explain it very well. The only thing I have about this movie, it's not so much unoriginal, but it's, scraping the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. You're not coming up with an original thought. You're taking a folklore story from a country and making a movie about it. And, I'm sure it's going to do well. My only thing is that now you're going to have other countries being upset. What's next? Puerto Rico's going to say, we want our movie about the chupacabra. So let's make that. So it's not that it's unoriginal, it's just scraping the bottom of the barrel, as I said. And that's what Hollywood has come to. No originality, no new ideas, spitting out copy after copy. It's pretty sad. But hey, these are all just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know your thoughts on the box office recap from last weekend, about the box office predictions for this weekend. Do you think they're going to hold? Do you think I might get them all right? Let me know about the movies that are celebrating birthdays. Was there anything that stood out to you? Was there anything that I didn't see that you see that maybe you are telling me I need to check it out because it's worth my time? Excuse me. And let me know what you think about these trailers that came out. The Destroyer, excuse me, Escape Room, and The Curse of La Llorona. But hey, as always, you can follow me on Twitter. It's Movie Time with C1, the letter C, the number one. Again, I'm just gonna have little posts on there. I just had my box office predictions for this weekend. Um, but yeah, follow me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, Movie Time with Chris, movie underscore time underscore with underscore Chris, where you're gonna see little snippets of videos I've already uploaded, things I'm in the process of uploading, and check out the Twitter, check out the Instagram. If you like what you see, come back to the channel and subscribe. You're gonna get all of that content and then some. Now, the and then some is because I'm here for you, for the 10 or 11 people that might actually watch this. I'm here for you. So if you guys ever have a question, a topic you want to hear about, a video that you want to see, all you have to do is email me, movietimewithchris@gmail.com. That's actually the best way to do it, because my memory is kind of as you can tell, but I'm going to check the email multiple times a day. I'm not going to miss your message, and I can guarantee that your video, question, topic will appear on a future video on this channel. So, what's on your mind? Reach out to me. Now, hey, if you guys enjoy the work that I do, again, there's a few projects I'm thinking about toying with, working on, that I might do exclusively to anyone that follows, supports me on Patreon. I'm going to have the link in the description box below so you could check that out. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe. And until next time, take care, everyone.